Hello, my name is Kevin, and I am the Dapper Man. Today I'm going to be talking about the movies that I've actually purchased in the past 2 months. I know I haven't did a video like this for a long time. It's probably been since last year, maybe, or earlier this year, and I don't really feel that 100% when I do these videos, but I have noticed that some people are actually interested in seeing the movies I purchase and how I add to my collection. So, here's another one, and I actually like talking about some movies, but I don't really know most of these movies. So, if you're expecting a review, I'm sorry, I don't have it for these videos. Actually, I like at least for these. So, if I do come across one, I think I have one or two of them that I will discuss that I know about. But other than that, these are basically all blind purchases for me. Now, I will say for these two movies I'm going to grab right here, they are Criterions. And I recently found out that Chamberlain Book Mines, which is a bookstore that's here in Jacksonville, Florida, has two locations. I only know of the one because I've only been to the one because it's pretty close to me on Roosevelt Boulevard. So these movies are, of course, used, and they're cheap. They were $16 a piece, which is extremely cheap even for a used Criterion Blu Ray. And these are blind purchases. Never saw either one of them, but it caught my eye and I was actually interested. There was a couple of others up there, but they didn't caught my eye, and I probably already had those movies, so of course it wouldn't interest me. But here is two of them, and never saw anything about them. You may have. I haven't. Here's this one. It is a Czech movie, and it was made in 1964, hour and 7 minutes, called Diamonds of the Night. I couldn't tell you a thing about it. I don't know anything about it, and that's the way I like to go into certain movies. I know it's a dramatic film because from what the details are saying, so why not? Maybe I like it. Maybe I won't like it as much, but I've never came across a Criterion that I hated or disliked. Okay, take it back. One, and I couldn't finish it. That movie was called Eraserhead. I still can't finish that movie. I know it's a David Lynch film and everyone raves of how great it is. I find nothing in that movie for me at all. Anyhow, here is another movie, and this is a French movie. I like French movies because they have a very dramatic, very surreal feel to it. And I never really came across any bad dramatic French movies. Not saying that there isn't any, but as far as the ones I've seen, especially for the Criterions, I've actually enjoyed every single one of them. This one's called The Kid with a Bike. I'm not going to pronounce the French name because it's in the back of it. Don't know anything about it. You may have know something about this. I don't. So, if you do, let me know in the comments down below if you have seen this movie. It's interesting, and it's look colorful, at least for when I open it, and I always like how they have a booklet inside, all the Criterions, and how well the picture quality and sound quality is. It's something I've always never could pass up too much, especially at a very good price. I don't fancy paying $40 for a movie. I don't think I've ever paid $40 for a movie, unless it was a movie collection, different. But paying $30 for a movie, I just never say a yes to. 25 is probably my max. I don't know anything about this movie. You probably have. I know my mom talked about this as a movie couple. Not a real life movie couple, of course, but as far as what they play on movies and the romantic comedy, always a perfect pair, at least again for the movies, because of how different their life situations were. And maybe it's a good purchase. $1.50? I mean, I don't think that's bad. It's actually pretty good. I don't think this was just Blu Ray. Then it came with no DVD or digital copy. So, I guess I can't wait to see what this is about. Ip Man 4. Final roll, finally. I remember Donnie Yen said Ip Man 3 was his final one. And then they made the one more. Like Ip Man the Final Fight. And I guess they weren't too pleased with the way how they ended with that movie because it wasn't Donnie Yen inside. So they made this one. And Donnie Yen has said and confirmed this will be his last final Ip Man movie. I've always enjoyed him in this role. have not seen this movie. I was going to see it in the theaters, but apparently you couldn't see the movie in the theaters, and it was not very much. So, and it says right there, the finale, very tiny, wee little letters. So, can't wait to see how this movie ends. I'm going to be watching with my friend, so I'll let him know that I actually have the movie, and we can see how that movie goes. Have you seen it? Here is one that people has told me that you have to see, not buy, but see one time. Well, I wanted not to really buy this movie. I wanted to see it one time. I went to the library. The DVD was completely scratched up. Told them about it. It's like, hey, I couldn't watch this movie. It's scratched up. If I rent the movie, it's already cost me more than what I purchased for this movie. Came with a Blu Ray, DVD, and digital copy. I just used a digital copy. It works. So let's see how well this movie is. And that movie is called Her. I've always overlooked this movie. I think this movie was made back in, 2016 or 17. The sticker's covering it. The $1.50 sticker, that is. And, yeah. I'm not sure if he was nominated. I think he was nominated for an award for this movie. Don't know if he won it or not. I'm not a big person on awards. It is what it is for me, because I've just never been a fan of awards. I used to be when I was a teenager. I was excited to see how movies got one award, like the Golden Globe, Academy, and so forth. And I guess when I found out how political it was, it just cut me off. Here's a John Carpenter film I have been desiring to see. I have been wanting to get on Steelbook, and I wasn't willing to pay $23 for a Steelbook movie when it had the same exact content as this plastic case. I was hoping it would go on sale. Never went below $23, at least from what I've seen. And that is the movie They Live. So many people has told me about this movie. I can tell you about whenever someone comes across this movie or tells me about it, they tell me about the infamous movie line in here. And this clip. That was really interesting. I liked it. And I was like, if that's what's in the movie, I've got to see this movie. I'm actually becoming a really good John Carpenter fan. I was never one growing up. It's probably because all of his movies were R-rated, and I wasn't allowed to have R-rated movies inside the house. But that's a different time. This is actually something I would like to see. And I can't wait to see it. So when I do see it, I'll be sure to put a review on that very shortly, or as soon as possible. Here is a movie I've seen one time on the television, and I really enjoyed it. I never could find it on DVD for some odd reason. I know it's on DVD, but I've never been able to find it. And I like John Huston as a director, especially he was the one who started noir films. And it's this movie called Key Largo. I've been to Key Largo actually myself, but that has nothing to do about the movie. Just for me living in Key West and actually visiting the Keys a couple of times. I believe this movie has taken place like a hurricane is happening and they're doing a heist or a robbery. I couldn't tell you. I just know I've seen it one time. I liked it and I want to see it again, and now I finally got it. So this is a movie I believe I've only purchased for $10 or $9 or $10. I can't remember. And it's only available through the Warner Brothers Archive Classics. Sort of like with Walt Disney. They have certain movies you have to go to the Walt Disney store to purchase on Blu Ray. I believe that's a load of rubbish, but oh well. Here's another one. Billy Budd. This one doesn't have very many special features. It only has special features as commentary. And has, Steven Soderbergh. I just realized that. I believe this is Peter Ustinov's. I believe I'm saying his name right. This is his only directing debut, or any directing film he's ever done. I could be wrong. Don't know. This movie is in black and white. You expect by seeing this cover and the posters and everything that was advertised for this movie, it'd be very colorful, especially if it was done in CinemaScope. But this movie was not in color. I think this movie would have been great in color. I remember seeing it one time on the television. Again, a very short clip. I've always wanted to see this movie, but they edit things off naturally through movies on television when it's over the air. Why? I don't know. Certain movies I don't think needs to be edited, but they do it anyway. So now I get to see it for the first time, complete, hopefully in high definition format. It's not telling me exactly how much of a high definition. Yeah, it doesn't tell me anything. So I'm always cautious now when I get the movies from the Warner Brother archives, because after I saw that movie Them, and it was like a direct DVD to Blu Ray, and they lessened the quality of it, it's got me a bit cautious. This one, The Picture of Dorian Gray, I remembered because this one was black and white. It had a color insert. It's obvious what the color insert is if you know the story. If you don't, then I would say watch this movie. I'm going to finally watch this in the high definition format. Hopefully it gets the high definition format treatment that I'm desiring. I can't tell you because I don't know, but I very much wish it would. This movie was not filmed in widescreen. Let's see if it shows widescreen. Okay, they didn't put it in widescreen. Again, like I said, with the movie Them and one other movie, they actually made it into a widescreen. Why? I don't know. If it's full frame, keep it full frame. 1:37 aspect ratio. Doesn't tell me nothing else much other than you must read the short story, in my opinion, before watching the movie. That is my opinion. There was a movie made in the 90s, and I believe it had Colin Firth. I could be wrong. I hated that movie. That movie was completely horrible. And yeah, I liked this movie. Movies about truckers. There is only 2 movies I know. That's Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. Thank you. I was trying to think of the name for him. I don't know why. My mind just went blank. Sylvester Stallone, called Over the Top. Fantastic. Cheesiness at its best. Arm wrestling, truck driving, and everything else. Then there was a movie with Patrick Swayze and Randy Travis. That movie was called Black Dog. And I remember it because my grandfather was a truck driver, and he made fun about that movie, talking about the myth of the black dog. And he was like, he doesn't know where that came from. So here is, oh, and the other one, Clay Eastwood movie, what's it called? Any Which Way But Loose. I remember renting that movie from the library. Wow. Huh. Just remember that. Anyhow, never saw this movie. Never heard of it. I just came across it online, and it was $6. And I was like, why not? It has a nice VHS cover case to it called White Line Fever. Don't know a thing about this. Now, as you can tell, it's completely different from what this looks like. You can see how that case looks like. Has almost a poster look. This one has a VHS look, which I actually like these covers. I think they're pretty cool. They're by Anchor Bay. And they don't really have special features to them. Pretty much like, what's that movie I have up there? I know it's called Fair is Fair. It's right up there. Legend of Billie Jean. Why I couldn't think of that for some odd reason. It had a great VHS cover style to it. So I like that. The only one I don't care for was there was one with John Wick. John Wick was made beyond the VHS stage. So I don't think that's very fair, and I don't really care for that, but hey. Along with this one, Roxanne. I remember coming across this copy so many times, and I remember asking my dad and mom, let's rent this movie, and they was like, no, we already saw the movie. That was one thing about them. If they already saw the movie, they were not going to rent it. Or if it was so long that they couldn't remember from their childhood, they'll probably let us rent it. Like That Darn Cat, and there was like The Shaggy Dog, The Shaggy DA. They let us rent those movies because it was so long since they were a child. They've watched it. But if it was something within their young adult lives, they didn't want to rent it. This was a movie I think they probably saw it in the theater together, and they had no desire to see it again or watch it again. I want to, and I want to see it. It's actually pretty funny. I remember this. Yeah, it says right there. I was just about to say, Siskel and Ebert talked about how it was a very funny movie, and well, let's see how funny this movie is to me. This is a movie I'd never read the little short stories, and I saw it in the theater. I was probably one of the few people who liked it. There's a lot of people who didn't like this movie, I found out recently. I didn't know why, because I thought it was pretty good. Although there were certain scenes that was like completely pure dark, and it was more a teenager range, while I think the short stories was more of a preteen this scary story to tell in the dark. This is actually now on sale recently for $5 through Black Friday or Black Thursday or whatever, some sort of Thanksgiving sale. I didn't purchase it during that time. I purchased it a little bit sooner and only paid 50 cents more, so I paid $5.50. Big whoop. $5.50 still for a Blu Ray DVD digital copy for a movie I actually enjoyed. To me, it's not a bad buy. Maybe you've seen it. Maybe you've got your thoughts on it. I know people will tell me the short stories are so much better, and they probably are. I just didn't mind it, and it leaves off with the sequel, so hopefully we will get the sequel for it. I think it did very well in the box office. I don't know if I did a review on it. Probably have. Can't remember, but I enjoyed it, and something that should be seen. Here is a movie with Steve Martin I laughed my butt off with, and Michael Caine, directed by Frank Oz. I had this movie on DVD, Blu Ray. I purchased it at Best Buy, and the quality is not that good. This is by Shout Factory, so I know the quality is going to be shot up so well. And that movie's called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. This movie actually surprised me with how clever it was written and how funny this movie is. I can't wait to watch the features on it. There's not very many features to talk about because it's comedy, so there's not really too much to talk about when it comes out for comedy. This is one of those 2 comedy movies I would actually recommend watching. And if you wish to own it because it's that funny. It says it has a new 2K scan, and it has audio commentary by Frank Oz, which did not have on the Blu Ray edition I got from Best Buy for like $5. So I figured, why not? This is one of the few times I actually second purchase a movie. I don't really do a movie a second purchase unless it's a really good edition. I very much enjoyed it. Or if the first time I purchased the movie, it had a very cheap quality. This one did not. I'm going to try to blow through this real fast because I know I'm going pretty long, and I don't tend to go as long. This movie, again, don't know anything about it. All I know is that it won an Academy Award, last year, 2 years ago. That's called The Green Book. Couldn't tell you a single thing about it, again, because it was all about Academy Awards, and I know there was like a 50-50. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I don't know what other movies was nominated for that time, and like I said earlier, I really don't care because they're awards and they got very political, and I don't really care when they go political into movies. So, yeah. Here is a movie I saw one clip of this right here. Wow. This looks like it could be so bad it's good, or it could be so bad it's bad. And that's the movie called It's Alive. It's a trilogy. I thought it was very interesting when I seen this because apparently, this is the first time, the movie, first one is PG, the rest of them are R ratings. So I was like, oh, that's a curious thing for me because that's a jump. But then again, it was made in the 70s and last one was 87, so 87 was beyond the Gremlins phase. So I'm just curious. I don't know. This could be one of the worst movies I've ever owned. Okay, got my trusty knife. Oh my goodness. I don't know. Let's find out. It's probably going to look so freakish to me because I can tell you the back cover right now. It is freaky looking. But there's some people who tell me it's so corny and so bad. But when I seen that scene from Island of the Alive, I remember seeing this so many times in the video store. This one I don't remember seeing at all in the video store. I don't remember seeing that cover. That cover looks different. Okay, yeah. Okay, they gave it a different cover. Was that how the poster looked like? Huh. Because inside most of these shop factories, you always get them and you get the flip art, which I've always appreciated for these. But that was the cover. Okay, yeah. They don't have the flip cover for that so much. It's the inside. So that's how the cover looked like when I saw it. I think this was I directed to VHS. If I am correct. I'm probably wrong. So that's what that looks like. This was for the longest time like $50 at Best Buy and other places, and then I seen it go 40, and I seen 30, and I was like, I wonder if it can go cheaper. And it went to 25, and I realized it wasn't going to go any cheaper than 25 when I got it, so that's why. Again, $25 for 3 movies is not bad for me. Now, these are pawn shop purchases. Yep, these were all pawn shop purchases. There were DVDs. These are movies I cannot find on Blu Ray, or these are movies that I know I very much enjoyed. Even if it's on DVD, I don't care. The Bear. I remembered watching this movie when I was a child or a young teenager, and I loved this movie. It is not very much a family film. I remember this was advertised so many times as a family film through the commercials and so forth. It's not. It has, I guess, somewhat of a family quality through the stop motion that was inside and a couple other things, but it's a Canadian film, and it's very much enjoyable. I loved it, and I cannot wait to... Oh, this is Shout Factory. I just realized it. How come I've never... It's just one of these few movies I can't find on Blu-ray, and I'm pretty sure, I think I remember, yeah, it has the inside. That's the cover I remembered on the VHS when we had it. This was the poster, I guess. I don't care for that design. I do not like that. I like that so much better. That's why I remembered. I'm going to put this down because it takes a long time for me to put the slipcover back inside. Here is a musical. Don't know a single thing about it. The only thing I know is the Glenn Miller Band, because in the 1940s and 30s, late 30s of films, this was a very popular band. Swing music, dance music, jazz, and don't know anything about it. I don't know who either one of them are, other than Cesar Romero. This is about, oh, Cesar Romero's inside. Okay. So, I guess I'll find out. Did I just grab all musicals? I just realized that. Mr. Holland's Opus. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm okay with that. Richard Dreyfuss. This is one of those things I've actually had the soundtrack for, but just never the movie. And now I actually have the DVD movie of it, and I can't wait to watch it again because I remember this played a lot on television during the 90s. And this was a very popular movie. This was like, I think he won an Academy Award. Again, so many things that's talking about awards for these things. I just remember this being a very dramatic film, and this was a very big deal during its time. 2 thumbs up by Siskel and Ebert, and it was a pretty good movie from what I remember. 1995. Okay, nominee. So, let's see if I could remember any good memories from this movie, and if I still enjoyed it from that time frame. The Red Balloon. This movie was actually impressive with me. I remember to come across this when I was up in Toronto, Canada, and it was playing on television. I believe it's a French film, but I remember, very short film. Yeah, 34 minutes. And these are one of those types of movies that you can't find. And it was a rarity, so... And I was actually a bit excited. Janus film. Not Criterion, but Janus film. So, yeah. Very short movie. And can't wait to see it. Last one. And in fact, I just messaged someone about this movie. It's 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. I remembered hating this movie when I watched it, and I came across it, and it was 2 discs. I was thinking about selling it, but I thought about, I'll just buy the movie. If I hate it, I'll just go ahead and sell it. So I'll find out if I still dislike this movie. I just know these movies go pretty well in pricing, especially when you try to sell it through eBay or Amazon. So I guess I'll find out if it's this movie I still hate. Like, who knows? Maybe it'll be nice and just give it to somebody, because I know there's 2 friends of mine that love this movie to death. There are certain musicals I just don't care for. This is part of one of those I may like, I may hate still. I'll find out. Anyhow, that is my movie collection, what I have for my movies. In fact, I'm sorry, I have to. I want to see what's inside of this, and so I was going to do it. Oh wait, never mind. I can see right here through this. You can't see it, but I can see it. There's like a triple layer. Not worth my time right now. For this video. I don't want to put you through that torture of me spending 3 minutes to open up a Blu-ray. Why do they put so many coverings? They got the plastic covering, then there's another seal inside, and there's a sticker seal. Why did they do that? I don't think people would want to steal that movie. I know there's some movies people want to steal. That's the 4K movies. And that movie I could just slide right open because I had one that I purchased recently, like Joker. Slid that thing right open. Anyhow, that is my movie collection. That's adding to my movie collection what I purchased for the past 2 months. Long video, I know. Sorry, didn't mean to make it so long, but that is it, and that's what I have. If you have seen any of those movies before, or if you have it in your collection, let me know. I like to know. Give this video, I almost said movie. It's not a movie, it's a video. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and be sure to subscribe. Subscribe if you wish. You don't have to, but greatly appreciate it. That way you can see more of what I do, more videos like this if this is something you enjoy. If it's not, then just flip onto somebody else's channel and watch them open movies. I guess. I don't know. Anyhow, that's it. So take care, have a lovely day, and I will see you around into the next video, or actually movie review. So, yeah. Cheers.